For this workout, you will need a pair of dumbbells and a chair or table. For the first minute, we're going to get our mind dialed in. So imagine a circle on the floor about 3 feet in diameter, and you are in the middle of it. For the next 30 minutes, the only thing that matters is what's inside that circle. You, your dumbbells, your chair, your bench. During the workout, I want you to put away all other distractions. So right now, make sure your phone is in Do Not Disturb so that it doesn't ring and take away from this video. All of your problems and other things will be there waiting for you when the 30 minutes is done. So we've got 30 minutes more on this minute. So you want to warm up a little bit. Gently bend some of the joints you're going to be using, your ankles, your hips, your knees. Shift your weight from side to side. Practice standing on one foot a little bit. Take big steps, opening up your hips. Start to move your arms. During this time, you want to breathe in and out through your nose. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out through your nose. 5 more seconds here, just warming up and getting ready to work. Here we go. For these first 2 minutes, we are going to be walking. The idea here is to get your heart rate up a little bit, and then in between our working sets, our heart rate will stay up. Some notes on posture while walking. I will repeat these, so don't worry. Every time we're walking, I'll say them again. Notice your pelvis and your hips. Make sure they're tilted posteriorly. So pretend there's a bowl and you want to tip it backwards towards you. At the same time, look at where you're looking. Keep your eyes up. Keep them up, looking forward. This will help you from hunching over. Keep walking. Lift your knees. The speed is up to you. Start off easy, and then as you start to warm up, you can walk a little bit faster. For each of these minutes, the speed at which you walk will be different because how tired you are is going to change through the workout. If you start finding yourself getting bored just walking for 2 minutes, you can start to march if you have the capacity. And by marching, you just want to lift up your legs, lift your knees a little bit higher, and swing your arms. The more you swing your arms, the higher your heart rate will go. Remember your posture. Keep your chest up, keep your hips tucked underneath you. If your neck feels tight, drop your chin a little bit because you might be jutting it out. We still have 40 more seconds here, so keep walking. Again, if you're getting bored, you can start to shuffle to the side, you can walk forward, you can walk backwards. If you're finding this not challenging, lift your knees up or increase your speed. You can also shift your weight from one side to the other, so you can walk side to side, forward, backwards. Keep walking, we want to keep our heart rate up. 15 seconds here, keep going. You may want to start playing around with the tempo. Step, step, pause, or step, pause. 5 more seconds here. Keep going, and then we're going to switch in, and you're going to need to get your chair. Get your table or your chair. You're going to be using it to steady yourself. You won't be standing on it. For the glute leg lift, you are going to be lifting your left leg using just your glute. So use your right hand to stabilize yourself on your chair. Bend over at the hips, and then flex your foot so there's a 90-degree angle on your ankle, and lift your leg backwards. Keep the leg straight and use the glute to move it there. All right, keep lifting. Now there's 30 seconds on the clock before we switch legs. So try to keep your whole body still except for that leg that's lifting, and try to focus on just using the glute to move the leg. Keep your core tight. Do this by imagining pulling your belly button up to your spine. You can use your other hand that's not steadying yourself to feel your glute working. We're going to switch sides now. It's time to switch sides. Go to the other side of the box, put the other hand down, get the other leg ready. Make your core tight by imagining pulling your belly button back to your spine. Try to keep your whole body straight and just use your right glute to bring your right leg back. Keep your right leg straight. You can use your right hand to feel your glute to try to tap it and see if you can feel it working. Focus only on the muscle doing the work. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your nose. 3 more seconds. It's time to walk again. Here we go. Walking either forward and backwards or standing in place. Let's do a quick note about posture. So look up, look forward, keep your chin up. Keep your chest up. Keep your shoulders back. Keep your core engaged by imagining bringing your belly button back to your spine. And also tip your pelvis posteriorly, meaning to the back. So if you had a bowl and your bowl was your pelvis, you want to tip it backwards towards the back of the room. Keep marching. Keep walking. If walking is too easy, march. Lift your knees up. Pump your arms. Put them in sync, right? So you want to move your right hand forward while your left leg is up, and vice versa. At any time, you can go down from marching back to walking, but you don't want to stop moving. So if you're tired, just slow down the moving. The idea here is to be tired, though, because we're only working out for 30 minutes here, so we're going to make every second count. We are halfway done this walking. We got 1 more minute to go. Keep walking. You can also walk side to side. If you get bored, you can also play with the tempo. Step, step, pause. Step, step, pause. Walk forward, walk backwards, walk to the side. Keep an eye on your posture. I want to hear you breathing. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Audible breaths. That way we make sure that we are breathing. We don't want to hold our breath while we're working. Keep walking. If you've since geared down in speed because you were tired, try gearing back up now. We only have 30 seconds. We don't want to waste any time here because it's only 30 minutes. So we're going to keep walking. Keep those knees, keep that posture. Keep your shoulders back, don't hunch. Use your abs to keep yourself tight because you can actually get an ab workout at the same time as this walking. All right, 10 more seconds. Keep going. Again, if you're not being challenged, you can always lift your knees higher and keep your speed higher. The idea is to keep your heart rate up. Almost done now. Let's get ready for your squats. Put your legs just outside of shoulder width apart and you're going to be bending your knees. Keep your chest up. Fold your arms in front of your chest, how I have mine. When you're at the bottom of your squat, you're going to hold for a beat. 1 minute is on the clock now, so do as many as you can with good form. Slowly lower down for about a count of 1, and then hold for half a count, and then back up for 2. When you come back up, focus on squeezing your glutes to bring you back. You can do this by imagining drilling your heels, the back of your foot, into the floor in an outward. So if you're squeezing your glutes and you're almost twisting your heels in your mind outwards. Keep practicing. We're still halfway done here. So again, as you come down, you're leaning your hips backwards as if you're going to sit in a chair. Try not to let your knees go too far over your feet. You want to keep them kind of in the middle of your foot. Remember, your feet are turned out 45 degrees. Keep your chest up. Look forward, not down when you're squatting. Pause again for a second at the bottom, and then come back up. Done here. We are back to our walking. 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, quick posture check. You want to keep your chest up. You want to keep your shoulders back. Keep your abs engaged. Your torso should be one solid piece with your abs keeping everything nice and tight. Swing your arms if you want to get your heart rate higher. Your heart rate might already be high after those squats, and that's what we want. We're going to use our walking now to keep it there. Again, keep your eyes looking forward, and you can swing your arms in synchronous with your legs. If you want more of a challenge, lift your knees higher and increase your speed. Otherwise, again, we're just walking here. If you get bored, you can play with the tempo. Step, 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 pause. Step, 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 pause. Step, pause, step, pause. You can step to the side, take 10 steps to the right, take 10 steps to the left. And remember, if the intensity is too high, you can come back down to walking, but we do not want to stop moving. So even if we're walking slowly, we are still walking. Again, the arm pumping is going to raise your heart rate. So if your heart rate is a little bit too high for your liking, you can stop with the arm pumping. Again, remember, we only have 45 seconds here, so we want to make it count. So unless you're absolutely tired, please do continue. Keep pumping your arms, keep lifting your knees, keep the speed up. Again, keep your posture. Make sure you engage your abs. We don't want your low back to be sagging here. So using your lower abs, you can keep your pelvis in check. And again, we're tipping it backwards. Keeping our shoulders back. 20 more seconds. Keep going. If instead you feel your heart rate is falling, you can step up the speed a little bit for these last 17 seconds just to give yourself an extra boost. Because once we finish this exercise, we're going right into the next exercise, which is a squat with a calf raise. All right, 7 more seconds here, and then we're going to get ready for our squats. Let's get ready for our squats. We're going to put our feet even wider this time. So these are sumo squats. Your feet are even wider than shoulder and hip width apart. Your feet are turned out 45 degrees. We've got a minute on the clock. So for 2 counts, you want to squat down until the upper parts of your legs are parallel to the ground. Hold at the bottom there for half a count and then lift yourself up on your toes if you can. Hold for a second and drop back down. Once you're on your heels again, drive through your heels and push yourself back up to standing. 30 seconds, keep going. Each of these is going to get better as you do them, so don't worry. When you drop down, make sure your knees are moving out in the direction of your toes. So they're tracking over your feet, and when they finish moving, they want to be right over the middle. When you're up on your toes, you might shake a little bit, and this is normal, so don't worry about it. Remember to keep your abs tight. Remember to keep your chest up, looking forward. Again, we've got 10 seconds, and every time you do this, it's going to get easier, so keep at it. If coming up on your toes is too much, you can leave that part out, but eventually we're going to put it back in. Okay, it's time again for our walking. So we're going to do 2 minutes of walking. Your heart rate's probably up now after those squats. I know mine was. Looking at my face in this video, I can tell I'm trying to catch my breath. So now that your heart rate's up, let's keep it there. Remember, pumping your arms will keep your heart rate up. We're going to do a posture check, as we always do. We want our abs tight. We want them pulling on our hips or our pelvis, and we want that tipping backwards, as if it was a big bowl that we were tipping backwards. This way our low back doesn't sag, and our low back won't hurt after all this walking. Remember, you can walk forward and you can walk back. Keep your arms moving in sync with your legs, and this will keep your heart rate up. Again, if your heart rate's not moving up that fast, start lifting your legs even higher and turn this into a march. And we know that when people march, they have somewhere to go, so we want to keep the speed reasonable. Keep going, halfway done here, so keep walking or marching. If standing in the spot is boring, then definitely keep moving backwards and forwards. We're going to keep our heart rate up. Keep walking, 50 seconds to go. Keep walking. Another posture check. Make sure that your shoulders are back. Make sure that your eyes are looking forward and your chest is up. Keep pumping your arms. I want to hear your breaths. Nice audible breaths. Breathing so deeply that anybody who is in the room with you could hear. We want to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. 20 seconds. Keep going. If your heart rate is starting to slow down a little bit and you're starting to catch your breath, I encourage you to pick up the speed a little bit. I'm not saying to run, but you can definitely turn it into a march and keep the arms swinging. 10 seconds left. Remember, the only thing that matters is what's happening right now for these 30 minutes. 5 seconds. And then from now, we're going to move in to push-ups. Ready? Go over to your wall, and your arms are going to be armpit height. So put your hands on the wall. When you're pressing into the wall, you want to press through all 10 fingers. Your body is going to turn into one solid plank. So you're going to use your abs to keep yourself in one piece. Push back through your heels. See, I'm in one line here. Lower yourself towards the wall and press out through your hands. This move might take a few times to get it right, but again, we've got a minute here, so keep practicing. Every rep counts. What's important here is to breathe. We're breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. Breathe out when you push up and breathe in when you lower yourself down. Keep going. This will get easier. It may take a few reps just to get the movement down, but that's why we're doing it for a while. Still 30 seconds here. Remember, you want to keep your body between your shoulders and your heels as one solid plank. Keep your abs engaged, using the same cues we use when we walk, and drive your heels backwards and squeeze your butt, just like you did when you were doing the squats. 16 seconds, keep going. Remember, you're breathing in through your nose when you lower down and breathing out through your nose when you push back up. Put the tip of your tongue behind your top front teeth. 4 more seconds. Almost done. Okay, good job. Those push-ups are done. Let's get ready to walk. We're going to walk for 2 minutes. All right, we have 2 minutes on the clock. Your heart rate's probably up from those push-ups. I know mine was. Try not to be beating yourself up in your head right now about push-ups and your form and whether it went well, because this is a move that everybody struggles with, and every time you do it, you're going to get better. So keep walking. Okay, posture check. Keep your chest up. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your abs tight. Bring your belly button into your spine. Walk forward and walk back. If your heart rate is falling and it's starting to become easier to breathe, I encourage you to lift your knees up a little bit and swing your arms. Keep your posture check. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, and keep your abs tight. I want to hear audible breaths, meaning that if someone was in the room with you right now, they would hear you breathing. In through your nose and out through your nose. Keep walking. We're halfway there. Remember, we're only here for 30 minutes total, so we want to give everything we have to these workouts. So we're keeping our heart rate up, we're swinging our arms in sync with our legs, and if our heart rate's falling, we're turning it into a march. Keep the speed up, keep looking forward, 45 seconds, keep going. This may be a time to try out some tempo. Step, 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 pause. Step, 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 pause. Really, whatever you want to do works for me, but we want to keep our heart rate up. Keep the speed up. Walk forward, walk backwards, and walk to the sides. Still 15 seconds here. Keep going. Ten more seconds. Let's see if we can keep the pace up just a little bit higher. After this, we're going to move into some tricep work. Okay. Get your dumbbell and your chair ready. Grab the dumbbell in your left hand and let your hand hang down while you stabilize yourself with your right arm and you bend over. You're going to bend your left arm and pin the upper part of your arm to your side. Thinking just about the muscle on the back of your upper arm, this is your tricep. You're going to extend your elbow and push the dumbbell backwards. Soon we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock. At the end of the move, you want to twist and make your palm face up. Now we're in the 27 seconds. Here we go. So just using the muscle on the back of your arm, extend your elbow, and once you get to the top, twist slightly so that your palm raises up to the sky. Breathe in and out through your nose. Keep your core tight. And remember to keep the upper part of your left arm stuck to your body and not moving. The only thing moving should be the dumbbell. Almost done here. Now we're going to switch sides and go to the other side. Now put the dumbbell in your right hand. Pin the upper part of your right arm to your body, and you're only going to be extending your elbow. 30 seconds are on the clock. Breathe in and out through your nose and focus just on the muscle on the back of your arm. Keep your upper arm pinned to your body. Bend your elbow. And as you kick it back with that back of your arm, at the top of the move, squeeze your tricep extra and turn your palm facing the sky. Just a couple more here. Focus on what you're doing. Good. You know what time it is. It's time for 2 minutes of walking. There we go again. Your heart rate is up. We are going to keep it up. If walking is too easy, we're going to do some marching. Make sure you swing your arms because that'll get your heart rate even higher. When your right arm comes up, your left leg comes up. Right, left, right, left. Here we go. Posture check. Keep your abs tight. Keep your shoulders back. Keep your eyes looking forward. Breathe in and out through your nose. And if I were in the room with you, I should be able to hear you breathing. That's how deeply you're breathing. Good. Keep going. Keep your abs tight. Remember your hips. Pretend that your pelvis is a bowl full of water and you want to tip that bowl towards the back of the room. You can use your abs to do this and also your glutes. When your pelvis is like this, it allows your glutes to fire even stronger, and that's what we're looking for. It also protects your low back. A lot of people walk and they let their low back sag, and this is why your low back hurts. But if we keep our core engaged, and that's why I keep reminding you, remember we only have 1 minute here, so give it your all. Keep your arms pumping, keep your core engaged. Again, I want to be able to hear you breathing. In through your nose, out through your nose. Keep the speed up, keep your knees up. We're only here for 40 seconds, so we want to give it everything we have. This workout is not long. Remember, you can go side to side if you're getting bored, or front and back. Lift your knees. Keep breathing. I want to be able to hear you breathing. Keep your abs tight. Keep your eyes up and your shoulders back. Only 20 seconds here. If you started to notice your heart rate dropping a little bit, because this is getting easy, push it. Go a little bit quicker. Lift your knees a little bit higher. Pump your arms with purpose. Use the muscles in your body. 10 more seconds. Hang in there. Good job. Grab the dumbbell in your left hand and bend over like before, using your right hand for stability. Think about your back and squeeze your shoulder blades as you pull your elbow back. 30 seconds are on the clock now. This is a rowing motion. Picture your shoulder blades, squeeze them at the top of the movement for just a beat, and slowly lower back down with control. This is another move that will get better as you do it. Focus on the muscle that's working. Focus on pulling back that shoulder and squeezing your back muscles and squeezing your shoulder blades. We're going to switch sides soon. Okay, switch sides. Now we're going to do the other arm. Rowing now with the right arm. Remember, squeeze your shoulder blades. Keep your core tight. Focus on the back muscles that are working. Pretend that you are sawing a piece of wood. That is the motion we're doing. Squeeze your shoulder blades at the top of the movement for just a beat and then lower down with control. Focus on what you're doing. There's only a few more seconds here. Keep rowing. Keep your abs tight. Okay, we're done with that. Now you know it's time for walking again. So get ready to walk. 2 minutes are on the clock. Your heart rate should be up again. Good, we're going to keep it that way. Remember to pump your arms. You can walk forward, you can walk backwards, you can walk in the same place. In order to keep your heart rate up, I encourage you to lift your knees and turn this from a walk into more of a march. And as long as you're pumping your arms, keeping them in sync with your legs, this will keep your heart rate up. If you can feel your heart rate dropping, move a little bit faster. It's time for another posture check. Look up. Keep your eyes up. Keep your chest up. Keep your shoulders back. Keep your core tight. I want to hear you breathing. Breathing in and out of your nose so much and so loudly that I could hear it if I was standing beside you or even across the room from you. We're almost halfway done with this walking session, so keep walking. Keep marching. Remember, you can go side to side. You can go forward and backwards. And as you lift your knees even higher, keeping your core tight and keeping your pelvis tilted backwards is even more important. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. More than halfway done now, so we want to keep going, keeping our heart rate up, keep those arms swinging, keep the speed up. Take big steps to the side, and then reverse it and go to the other side. You can play with some tempo. Step, step, lift, step, step, lift, step, step, lift, step, step, lift. 20 seconds, keep going. Remember, you can always go forwards and backwards and left and right to keep it interesting. And again, 10 more seconds here. If you feel that your heart rate is starting to drop, keep the speed up. Keep your arms pumping. We're not here for very long. Almost done. Keep going. Grab both your dumbbells. We're getting ready for chicken raises. So bend your elbows at 90 degrees. Put your arms by your side. The idea is you're going to be lifting your elbows straight out to the side, not letting the dumbbells fall forward. So when your arms are fully extended, they're flat out there. We're going to put a minute on the clock. Focus on what you're doing. You want to use the muscles on the side of your arm, right at your shoulders. Squeeze those to lift up your elbows. Try not to let momentum carry you. At the top of the movement, hold for a beat and squeeze, and then slowly lower with control. You want to be in charge of those dumbbells. Don't let them pull you around. You are lifting them. Keep your abs tight. I want to hear you breathing in and out through your nose. The timing is when you lift the weights, you're breathing out, and when you lower the weights, you're breathing in. So when the weights go up, we breathe out, and when the weights go down, we breathe in. And we're remembering to pause at the top of the movement just for an extra squeeze on those shoulders. Keeping your elbows still, so the bend in your elbows doesn't change. You're using your shoulders to lift your bent arms up. We're almost done here, only 5 more seconds. Keep breathing, keep squeezing. Okay, we're done with that. Put those dumbbells down and you know that it's time to walk. 2 minutes are on the clock. We are here to keep your heart rate up. Remember, this is only 2 minutes, so we want to give it everything that we've got. Your heart should be up after all that lifting we were doing with our shoulders, and now we're going to keep it there. Keep your arms pumping. Keep them in sync with your legs. Remember, we can always turn our walk into a march, and it's time for a posture check. Check in with your hips. Make sure they're tipped back. Using your abs, keep your core tight. Keep them like that. Keep your shoulders back and keep your gaze up, like you're looking out in front of you and not at the floor. Keep marching, keep walking. If you can feel your heart rate starting to drop, keep the speed up. Otherwise, keep on going. Keep pumping those arms. You can walk forward and you can walk backwards if you're starting to get bored of walking in the same spot, but we want to keep going. We only have a minute left of this walking. And remember, this whole workout is only 30 minutes, so we want to use every second and make every second count. If you're going to be lifting your legs higher into a march, this is when it becomes especially important for you to use your abs by imagining pulling your belly button into your spine. This way, you protect your low back while you're walking. This is actually something to keep in mind when you're walking, even day to day. Not to say that you should be marching around while you're working, but anytime you're walking, use your abs to keep your core tight, and this will protect your low back. Keep going, 30 seconds here. If you've slowed down to listen to me, speed back up. Keeping your heart rate up is what we're trying to do here, and we only have 20 more seconds. So keep pumping your arms. You can walk to the side to side, just to keep it interesting, because this is almost done. Keep going. Keep your arms pumping. Keep your heart rate up. You have 10 more seconds, so if you can push the speed a little bit, go ahead and do that and step just a little bit faster. Almost done, and we're going to get ready for our next exercise, which is going to be on the floor. Come down to the floor. We're going to get set up for plank. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Push through all 10 fingers. Come up to plank. You're going to be pulling your belly button into your spine, just like you always imagine. Squeeze your butt. Push back through your heels. Keep your butt down. It's going to want to go up. We got 1 minute on the clock now, and the move is on top of the plank. We're going to lift one leg at a time. Lift one leg and hold it for about 5 seconds, and then put it back down. And then lift the other leg. Remember, we want to keep our butt low. Do this by focusing on keeping your core tight by pulling your belly button into your spine. If at any point it becomes too hard to lift your leg, you can just hold the plank. If holding the plank becomes too hard, you can drop to your knees. I've done this in the video here. Take a look. The idea is to keep the line between your shoulders and your knees as straight as possible, even if you're on your knees. Remember, squeeze your belly button to your spine and keep that pelvis tipped the way we do when we're walking. When you can, go back onto your toes. We're only 15 seconds here, so we want to give it our all. Remember, this workout is short, and so every second counts. You want to be doing the most that you can. Hang in there. We're almost done. Squeeze your abs and keep your butt low no matter what you're doing. 2 more seconds here. Almost done. Good job. Plank is something that's going to get better with time. The difference now is we're on rest, so you don't have to walk. So you've got 22 seconds left of rest. You can get up and walk around slowly a little bit if you want, or you can sit still. It's up to you. But we're going to be moving into our next movement, which is also abs. So go ahead and get your mat. If you have a mat that you're going to lie on, in 7 seconds we're going to begin. So get your mat set up. Now that you have your mat, lie down on it. We're going to learn how to do reverse crunches. So once you're lying down, you want to push your low back into the mat using your abs. And you don't want there to be a space underneath where you could put your hand. It should be flat right against. See, your hand cannot go. We're going to practice for a little bit. By moving our legs up and down, you can feel how it pulls on your abs, and it wants you to let the space in your low back come back. But that's the whole point, is you're going to use your abs, push that low back into the mat, and use your ab muscles to hold it there. This is going to get easier as you get stronger. So by lifting your feet up off the ground a little bit, you can feel how your abs have to fight against gravity to keep your knees from letting your low back lift up. See, as I extend my legs out a little bit, it gets a little bit tighter. And then if I bring my knees back up, it becomes a little bit easier. The idea is throughout the entire time, you want to keep your low back pressed into the mat using your abs. The reverse crunch is this little tiny motion, lifting your legs and imagining taking your bottom of your pelvis up to your rib cage. Don't swing your legs up there. Use your low abs to pull it up. That is a reverse crunch. This move will get easier. It's very small, see? You're just tipping your pelvis using your abs. Now the upper abs, right under your breasts, pull up your shoulder blades. See? It's very tiny. Do not pull on your head with your hands. You can put your hands behind your head if you want, but don't pull on your neck. Look at the sky. This will help keeping your neck from being crunched. So the move is that at the same time, we're going to use our upper abs to lift our shoulder blades up off the mat and our lower abs to lift our hips up off the mat at the same time. 1 minute is going on the clock. Remember, this move will get easier. So push your low back into the mat and lift your hips towards your shoulders. It's a very small move. Once you can do that, then you can add the upper abs, pulling the shoulder blades up off the mat. And then they come together as a crunch. This is the reverse crunch. Keep doing this. Your abs should be on fire by now. If both upper and lower is too much, just focus on the lower part. Keep the space under your back to 0. Keep your hips pushing into the back. You can put your arms down and just focus on the lower half. And if you want to do both, use your upper abs to pull your shoulder blades off the mat. Keep going. Your abs should be on fire at this point, and we're almost done. Keep breathing. Again, push the tip of your tongue to the top of the top of your top teeth, the back of your teeth. This will help keep your neck stable. Almost done here, and we're in 30 seconds of rest. You can sit up. 25 more seconds. So while we're on rest, we're going to get ready for the next move, which is also a crunch. Except this time we're going to cross one of our legs over the other. So lie down on your back and cross your left leg over your right leg. Remember that we are going to press our low back into the mat using our abs, and we're going to keep it like that throughout the movement. Ready? So go ahead and cross your left leg over your right leg, putting your ankle on your knee. Remember, we're pushing our low back into the mat. There should not be a space under there. Now, we're going to imagine taking our pelvis up to our ribs, just using our lower abs and not swinging our leg. At the same time, we're going to add in the upper crunch using our upper abs. 30 seconds is on the clock now. Remember to keep your lower abs engaged and no space underneath your low back between you and the mat. Focus on those lower abs and use them to tip your pelvis from the ground up to your ribs. And if you have the energy, add in the upper abs by contracting your upper abs, bringing your shoulder blades towards your hips. 9 more seconds. Breathe deeply and press the tip of your tongue into the top of your back teeth. 3 more seconds. Keep breathing. Good job. Now it's time to switch legs. So go ahead and put your right leg over your left knee. And again, 30 seconds are on the clock. Push your low back into the floor using your abs. Try to lift your hips all the way up to your shoulder blades, just using your lower abs, and don't swing your legs. At the same time, use your upper abs to contract, trying to pull your shoulder blades down towards your hips. And do both crunches at the same time. I want to be able to hear you breathing out and in through your nose. 3 more seconds. Almost done. Good job. You know what time it is now? It's time for our final 2 minutes of walking. So get up slowly. If you're having a head rush, take a minute, put your hand against the wall. 2 minutes are on the clock. Even I had a head rush at this point. Nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Pump your arms. Our heart rate is up and we want to keep it up. We are almost done. This is the last minute and 40 seconds that you have to do today. So again, we are squeezing every minute out of it, every second out of it. Okay, so posture check on our walking. Abs tight, hips back. Shoulders back, chest up, abs tight. And with our gaze looking forward. Pump your arms, pump them in sync with your legs. If you have it in you, for this last minute and 15 seconds, lift your knees a little bit higher. Step a little bit faster. The idea is we're going to squeeze every drop out of this workout and it's almost done. This walking session is half over and you're doing a great job. Keep going. Keep pumping your arms. If you're getting bored of standing in place marching, you can march forward and you can march back. And you can march side to side too. Keep going. Almost done. Keep breathing. If I were in the room with you right now, I should be able to hear you breathing in and out through your nose. Big breaths. Want to keep our heart rate up. Keep those arms pumping. Keep your knees up. Shift side to side. That's what I'm doing here. Trying not to get too bored. We're in our final 30 seconds. Your heart rate should be pumping. Keep it going. Step, 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 pause. 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 Last 15 seconds. Keep the speed up. Keep your posture up. Keep your heart rate going. Deep breaths. I should be able to hear you breathing. Keep your core tight on these last 5 seconds. Keep going. And it's done.